Welcome to Jurassic Park, or should I say, the Jurassic Park Honest Review series, and the crabby John Hammond impression. Welcome to the first Honest Review in a month. It's crazy, huh? Well, you guys read the title. Every day, I'm going to be reviewing each of the Jurassic films, from the first movie all the way up to Fallen Kingdom, in preparation for the new Jurassic World Dominion, which comes out this Friday, June 10th. And I've got my tickets already, so I might as well just give you an honest review on each of the Jurassic Park films, starting with, of course, the original from 1993 today. So, what is the history of Jurassic Park? Well, if you guys somehow don't know, we live in a society where science fiction properties is never a possibility. But what if scientists could bring back dinosaurs from their extinction? That is exactly what American author, the late Michael Crichton, decided to explore when he wrote his sci-fi novel, Jurassic Park, in 1990. The book was a success, and Crichton's friend and fellow enthusiast, as well as filmmaker, my personal favorite filmmaker of all time, Steven Spielberg, and Universal Studios picked up the rights to Jurassic Park to create a blockbuster film to be released. And, well, the film, at nearly 30 years old next year, Christ, is still popular today with the likes of several forms of merchandising, including animated TV shows on Netflix, toys, of course, video games, and of course the iconic Jurassic Park The Ride, which opened at several Universal parks around the globe. But today, we're going to be talking about the movie, and I'm going to turn off this light because I have an awful glare on me. So, what's the story? Well, in 1993, billionaire John Hammond opens up a theme park on an island just miles away off the coast of Costa Rica. He invites paleontologists Dr. Alan Grant, Dr. Ellie Sattler, and Dr. Ian Malcolm to come check out the park. And then, of course, we've got the very, very sketchy lawyer, Donald Gennaro, being invited because he's nervous. Lawyers are nervous. As well as inviting the two grandchildren of John Hammond, and those grandchildren are the Murphy kids. But due to some very, very, very crappy security failures, all thanks to one man, and we'll get to that in a minute, the dinosaurs, including the carnivores, the most violent ones on the planet, including the very, very dangerous Tyrannosaurus Rex, the very, very scary Dilophosaurs, and the downright terrifying Velociraptors. So, it's up to the group to stop the dinosaurs and to get off the island safely without getting eaten. So, Jurassic Park is one of those movies that is still regarded to this day as one of the greatest American films ever made. I could not agree more. It is by far Spielberg's best film. I've seen a lot of the films he's made, including Jaws, including E.T., including Saving Private Ryan, including a lot of other movies I still have not seen from beginning to end. I have not seen Lincoln. I have not seen Schindler's List, but I will because my parents are going to probably want me to. But this is Spielberg's best movie, and there are 100 reasons why. The story is a very interesting concept. What if scientists brought back dinosaurs to life and created a theme park around it? And we're also going to delve into the other history of the franchise because it's an important franchise in pop culture. But we're going to start off with a usual analysis, which is what I usually do for movie reviews. So we're going to start off by talking about the characters, and then we're going to talk about the visual effects, the music, the horror and action aspects, and we're also going to talk about the pop culture aspects and discuss the theme park side of things. So, we don't have an ensemble cast or anything, but we do have a set of characters. We got Sam Neill, New Zealand actor, portraying Dr. Alan Grant, who is really, really pretty much the dad figure of the group. I mean, there's a scene late into the movie in like the very end of the second act where he pulls a joke on the kids, and he's also very protective, but he can get stressed out, and Sam Neill expresses that wonderfully through all of his time on screen. Just wish he could have done that in the third movie, because he does come back for the third Jurassic Park movie, but we'll get to that on Tuesday when I eventually review that. But Sam Neill as Dr. Grant, perfect casting by far, and he's still one of the best characters like to follow, and I think he's really good. Ellie Sattler, portrayed by Laura Dern in one of her most iconic roles ever. She was only 26 at the time. Actually, I'm going to turn the light on. She was only 26 at the time they were making the movie, or when it was released, but she still pulled off a very convincing female character. Yes, there are times where they have her as like on the cover of like Hottest Women magazine. I don't even know anymore, but like she was pretty back then. She's still very pretty now. And I just really enjoy watching her in this movie every time. She does a lot of things that a strong female character would do. I mean, she literally risks her life to go into a very dark electrical circuit area. And she does a lot of things that take a lot of guts. Like, this is a strong female character right here, Ellie Sattler. But if you thought Ellie Sattler was used for sex appeal, you clearly have not seen any shot of Jeff Goldblum in this movie with his shirt buttoned down and making the position, and the sweat is dripping down, and he's got a mullet. Oh my god, Ian Malcolm is my favorite character in this movie. His charisma, his entire personality, Jeff Goldblum's laugh, it's easily one of Jeff Goldblum's most iconic performances in the world. And I mean, like, he's played a lot of the geekier characters. I mean, he's portrayed like The Fly, and he's in Independence Day, but this is how you do it. This is this sexy Dr. Malcolm. Very good. Obviously one of the highlights of the movie for me. I mean, there are memes everywhere of the shirt. The split down shirt. Still, great character, great writing. I really love Jeff Goldblum's performance, which is why he's one of my favorite characters. He is my favorite character in the movie, one of my favorite characters ever. Now we're going to talk about John Hammond. As you could probably tell, I had a crappy John Hammond little, how do you call it? It was a crappy impression. The late great Sir Richard Attenborough did a really, really good job, and he portrayed like a businessman. He's essentially Tony Stark if Tony Stark started out with a heart. Because throughout the movie, he just is like, he wants this thing to be a success, and he's very charismatic, whereas Tony Stark started out as just like an unlikable jerk. And of course, I'm talking about MCU Tony Stark, not war propaganda, Vietnam Tony Stark from the original comic. I'm talking about MCU Tony Stark. But John Hammond is not likable, but he tries to be. And that is the highlight of the performance I can give. There is a point where he makes like a sexist thing. You'll know when you watch the movie. And it's another great moment for Ellie. She literally I love what she does with him. She's just like, we can discuss sexism and park safety later. It's just the greatest thing ever. it's it's the best. But John Hammond is an iconic character, and Richard Attenborough made the character his own. Then we have the kids. Lex and Tim Murphy, portrayed by Ariana Richards and Joseph Mazzello. Now, Lex is... well, she's kind of like my personality. She likes to keep to herself. She likes to spend time on the computer, which is what every teenage kid likes to do. Although, unlike her, I am not a vegetarian. So I do like lamb chops. That's an in-joke. Tim is more the annoying fanboy character, or annoying fanboy type. I can be an annoying fanboy. So it's kind of my personality. Mixed in. We got two personalities, and they come together, and they make me. Those two kids. But they have really good chemistry, and they actually do look like brother and sister. And, yeah, sure, the kids are a little stupid, as kids are. Especially with the T-Rex scene. We'll get to the T-Rex scene in a minute. But kids are great characters. Then we've got these two characters that like not many people really know about. Well, we've got Robert Muldoon, who's like a hunter and a raptor trainer. He delivers one of the most iconic lines in the movie, which is "clever girl." And then we've got Donald Gennaro, the timid lawyer, who has one of the most memorable deaths in the movie. He's eaten straight off the toilet. He hides in the toilet. The T-Rex destroys it and eats him right off the toilet. Like, it's iconic. But, the performances from Bob Peck and Martin Ferrero are really good. And I like how Martin Ferrero gives Donald Gennaro, like, the timidness. He honestly just always looks like a very timid person. And he always looks like he's going to have a mental breakdown. And he also does give one of the best jokes. Are they heavy? Yeah. Then they're expensive. Put them back. Cracks me up every time I think about it, and I always try to find a way to incorporate it into my daily life. How? And we'll see one day. So, yeah, there's not really much to say about those two. I can say a lot about Ray Arnold, who is played by Samuel L. Jackson, who was... So this movie came out before Pulp Fiction. So this is before he was, like, big, but he was, like, there. And he also gives another iconic line, which he would repeat in Kong Skull Island, surprisingly. And that line is, "Hold on to your butts." He also has a very memorable scene where he's complaining over the computer's not working, and he just goes on the best tangent I've ever seen. He just says, "Please! God damn it!" He always smokes a cigarette, so he always sounds kind of like this. And his death is memorable, despite the fact that it was off screen. It was actually supposed to be shot, but due to bad weather, it didn't end up happening. So we get to see his arm. I'm glad it's just me in the honest reviews, just talking about a movie. And I don't actually show clips, because I do not want to get demonetized. The last character I'll really talk about, because like there are a lot of side characters I could talk about, like Dodson. I care about Dodson. He'll be back, played by a different actor, obviously, for a lot of reasons, but he'll be back in the new one. We can also talk about Dr. Henry Wu. He doesn't have a big role until Jurassic World, so I can't really bring him up that much. But the one character I can talk about does this. I couldn't really do the whole impression because I'm terrible at it. Dennis Nedry, portrayed by Wayne Newman Knight. easily one of the most hateable scumbags you've ever seen. He is lard. He is obnoxious. He is just a very awful person. But he's the person you want to see die. And Wayne Knight, this is easily one of Wayne Knight's best performances. And I've seen him in a lot of things. Like, he's really great in Space Jam. He's really amazing in a lot of animated stuff I've seen him in. I loved him as Tantor in Tarzan, as well as Al in Toy Story 2, and Zurg in the Buzz Lightyear spin-off show. And he's great as the Penguin in Harley Quinn, the animated series. But this is right here Wayne Knight's greatest performance, and I have not seen Seinfeld. I will watch Seinfeld eventually, so I can see Jerry Seinfeld just say the line. You know the line. You know I know the line. Newman. But Dennis Nedry's death is also one of the most iconic scenes of the movie because it's very dark. It is off screen. You know what happens. The bad guys lose, though. Also, please mind this cut on my hand. I'm going to take it away. Now, his death is very well deserved, but we'll get to the horror aspects in a minute. We need to talk about the dinosaurs and how they were brought to life with the visual effects. So this movie came out in 1993, and it's the first movie ever, first big budget Hollywood production to incorporate the use of CGI in major ways. The very first shot I'm thinking of when I think of Jurassic Park CGI has to be when the dinosaurs, the Brontosauruses or Brachiosaurus, I don't know which one. I'm assuming it was Brontosaurus or Apatosaurus, whatever they're called now. I don't care. When you first see them, the first ever dinosaurs you see in this movie, it really is a sight to behold. The dinosaurs themselves were designed by the late Stan Winston. And Stan Winston, he knew what he was doing when he created creatures like this. He helped design so many iconic monsters, like the Predator, as well as the cannibals from the Wrong Turn series. But these are by far one of his most iconic works ever, and they are some of the best looking creatures I've seen in any movie. The mix of practical and CGI effects for Jurassic Park are perfect. There are a lot of shots where they use animatronic work, particularly the shot with the Triceratops in the field, which is also where Ian Malcolm foresaw the future of the franchise. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't need to spill it out for you. I will in Jurassic Park 3, but you know. As well as the T-Rex, fully animated animatronic figure of the T-Rex. And the Velociraptors too have animatronic work. A lot of the dinosaurs have animatronic work. The only time the use of CGI is needed is with big shots. And it really works out well. And I'm super happy to report that this is one of the few movie series that has still maintained the use of practical dinosaur effects. I cannot say the same thing about a lot of franchises. There are a lot of franchises that get rebooted now with legacy sequels and stuff. Not a lot of use of practical effects. To my knowledge, the only few movies that really have the practical use: Top Gun Maverick, which is a movie I saw recently, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. A lot of the practical stuff is great, and of course, the new Jurassic World movies have a fair use of practical effects. But the visual effects are great. Also, side note, The locations of Kauai and the cinematography in this movie, astounding. I got to see the island of Kauai from a distance, but I still saw it last summer when I was in Hawaii. You got to see the mountain. The mountain the helicopter passes in the film. Not gonna lie, definitely the best thing I've seen in a while. Then we come to the music. John Williams, the maestro of music himself. The man I've seen in concert 3 times now. Well, 2 really, but 3. I've been to that concert 3 times. Delivers one of his best scores. Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back and Star Wars Revenge of the Sith may have better scores than this, but this is still an iconic score. The main theme, the Welcome to Jurassic Park, everything the score has to offer, you can hear it, and it's epic to listen to. Especially Welcome to Jurassic Park and the theme when they're arriving on the island / the end credits. Jurassic Park is one of those movies that will never have a terrible score. No matter how weak the movies get, overall, the score is still going to be really good. John Williams had the power for this one, and he delivered one of the best movie scores of all time. Let's talk about the horror. We need to. We have to talk about the horror. From the opening, yes, this is a PG-13 movie, but from the opening, we already have establishments that this is going to be a pushing of the PG-13 rating. We have a death, and we're not even 5 minutes in. We got a raptor mauling somebody off screen. It is implied. From there, we got a lot of horror scenes. The scenes with the velociraptors in the kitchen, where the velociraptor opens the door, because it's that intelligent, I guess, still scares the bejesus out of me. As does another very terrifying scene with the Dilophosaurs. The Dilophosaurs maul Dennis Nedry to death. And it's in the nighttime. And the way they do it is just so well done. It is a great little horror set piece. As is the scene where Ellie is being attacked by velociraptors in the electrical area. But by far, the best horror scene in this movie, as well as the best scene of the movie overall, is the encounter with the T-Rex. First off, it builds up the T-Rex's appearance. And I'm going to break this entire scene down, as a matter of fact. So it's in the dead of night, okay? It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring, and the tour vehicles are stalled. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, oblivious characters who don't know the security systems are completely failed. All power is shut down. A lot of stuff can go wrong, especially when a water cup starts to vibrate. Achieved with a guitar pick, ladies and gentlemen. You hear the footsteps of the beast. A goat that was previously there hours ago, mysteriously gone, huh? The leg then falls down onto the vehicle. Blood and everything. Scared lawyer runs out into the bathroom. Try to stay safe. The beast eats its meal, gets through the electric wiring, and then you see it. You know that beast means business. There is no music whatsoever from the following point. The T-Rex attacks, and it roars ferociously with exactly the same roar I imagine a T-Rex to sound like any day. And you know what it sounds like. Even if you haven't seen the movie, you know exactly what a T-Rex roar sounds like had you researched Jurassic Park. The red flare. That's a beautiful moment. And it's a way of getting the T-Rex away. And the line, don't move. It can't see us if we don't move. Still gets me. It is a beautiful, horrifying scene. And it is by far one of the greatest scenes in cinematic history. Which is why you need to see this movie just for that scene. I'm not going to let you just watch the scene. You got to watch the entire movie to watch the scene on your own. If you've seen the entire movie, then just go watch the scene again. As a matter of fact, I might just do that myself. Now, we need to talk about the Universal stuff because I'm not going to get away with not talking about it. I mentioned it as my character during the season 1 winter finale. But I'm going to talk about Orlando because Hollywood, Singapore, and Japan also do a good job. Well, Hollywood did a good job. Now it's J-World, but, Orlando packs a punch. Rebuilds an entire replica of Jurassic Park. It's got restaurants. It's got 2 roller coasters. A recreation of the visitor center. Yes, with screen-used fossils from the movie. And, of course, the iconic Jurassic Park River Adventure, which is based on a scene from the book, as this ride was actually in development before the movie even began production. But likewise, the look of the dinosaurs, the relaxing nature before it completely throws you off, gets a 180, turns into a horror show before your encounter with the T-Rex, and that drop at the end, top marks, really. Which is why I'm trying to head over to Orlando so I can do that ride eventually. Well, final verdict. You can't have movies without Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is one of the best films of all time. It is my favorite horror movie of all time. By far. It is my favorite Steven Spielberg film of all time by far. It is my favorite dinosaur film by far. And it is easily the best film in the Jurassic Park franchise, which means every movie, all the movies in the franchise, I'm not really gonna have a lot of high hopes for reviewing them because I've basically expressed all the opinions I need on the first one. Obviously. If you have not seen the movie, what are you doing here? Go watch it. Watch it. You have seen it, and you're watching this video, go watch it again. The movie, by far, is epic and one of the greatest masterpieces of cinema. Obviously, it earns a 10 out of 10. Life finds a way, and so do the movies with Jurassic Park. Well, that's it for this honest review. Stay tuned for tomorrow because I'm going to be covering Lost World Jurassic Park and every other sequel up until Thursday when I finally go see Jurassic World Dominion, the final film in this saga. So, I hope you guys are ready because we have a really big week. Jurassic Week here at 928 Studios, Inc. There will still be an episode of Movie Central, but my main focus for Jurassic June and Jurassic Week, really, it's really Jurassic June, now that I think about it. I would have done this in July had the movie come out in July, but no. So stay tuned for reviews on all 5 current films. Obviously, we got the first one out of the way, so just stay tuned for the next reviews. And also, keep being awesome. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.